Welcome everybody, as it is a beautiful day here on the streets of Long Beach. That's right, we are back at it like a track addict. 21 years, Formula Drift has been putting smiles on faces. Here we go, our first battle of 2024 season. Odi Bakshis and Jeff Jones. Let's send it. Here we go. Odi Bakshis field suspension. S15 goes and initiates. Here comes Jeff Jones into view. Jeff can be a little closer. Massive angle there from Odi Bakshis. He backs it in, taps that back bumper. Jeff's got really good proximity. You see that shimming there, though? That's going to reflect negatively on him as he goes into that last outside, inside clipping point. Little touch and go. And that big drift energy brings it on home. And once they extinguish, ready to go. That starts chicane, matching them up, so it's not a drag race to initiation. Across the nose of Odi Bakshis goes Jeff Jones. Slides it on in that first outside zone. Jeff, I told you, a lot more comfortable. A snappy transition. Odi Bakshis, how he was right there, right as he transitioned. That was some magician wizardry right there. He needs a Drift Wizard hat. Now, that last inside clip. Odi Bakshis gets the win. Brandon Sorensen, that United States Air Force BMW, so he gets an automatic advancement. He'll be going against Odi Bakshis. Let's lay out and listen to this weapon of mass destruction. United States Air Force BMW, baby. Brandon Sorensen. The quote is 10,000 laps on this track in a simulator, but guess what? The dozer, when push comes to shove, the dozer can push around that royal purple BMW. Here we go. All right, there goes Dylan Jones out that first outside zone. Manoa tucks in. Now in that second, oh, Manoa, a little bit of a mistake there. You saw a little correction there as Dylan Gozer used on the GT radial tires, transitions back onto the inside clip. Manoa backs off. He dives into the inside, so maybe got disrupted there. Here comes Manoa, Juke Racing 86. Now initiating in that first outside zone. Here goes Manoa. Good angle. He does use all the course. I think Dozer, watch Dylan. He's going to surge right here. There he goes, that third outside zone. That right there is, that's experience. That's Dylan knowing what he needs to do here in Long Beach. Look at this. We got Manoa one more time, and Manoa gets the win. All right, here we go. Moving on to our next battle, and that is Kazuya Taguchi and Alec Robbins. Kazuya Taguchi up garage, another 86, another Jerry Yang racing vehicle. Alec Robbins, gets way loose, has some trouble there chasing down Kazuya Taguchi. Taguchi almost going into the wall. You saw him back off there quite a bit going into outside zone 3, but Alec Robbins spinning early on. Kazuya over the last few years, like I said, Jerry Yang, he got that win in St. Louis, and that was just such a tipping point for him and his program and his mentality. Here we go, Alec Robbins out front in that Nissan C. There he goes, a lot more comfortable. Gets out there, bangs that back bumper. Little hesitation going to outside zone 2 on the Caddy tires and outside zone 3. The boy from Minnesota, and Kazuya dives into the inside. That's a major mistake. That was a massive mistake by Kazuya. It just glitched. There we go, outcome. Slide him left for Kazuya Taguchi or right for Alec Robbins, and Kazuya Taguchi up garage. Jerry Yang Racing, 86 gets the win. Man, that's what they do. They absolutely thrash to get the cars back out there. James Machine Deane, 3-time champion in that AutoZone Mustang RTR Spec 5 FD. Here he goes into that first outside zone. Transition to the second. There we go, banging bumpers on the wall. In outside zone 3, the machine is possessed. He's literally like T2. He's been burnt down, his exposed red eye, laser vision on the prize. The Ferrari out front, James Deane in the Mustang RTR Spec 5 FD. Talk about going through war. Look at Betty's car. That Pensoil Ferrari has seen a lot of things, a lot of action. And here we go, James Deane tries to chase him down in that first outside zone. Federico Chirico, the second out and third now. Now into the the inside clip. How is James going to manage? James Deane gets the win. Does he have the same engine build as previously, that BMW?
Yeah, they took it out. They took the whole wiring harness, laid it in this car, and everything fit perfect.
Sick, love it. Here we go. Jonathan Hurst out front, Cash Racing, send it. Here we go. Keeping it cool. Mr. Cool. Woo! There are those taillights. He keeps it off the wall, but good composure there. Mr. Cool, Kenda Tires, Caddy. The Caddy Daddy goes in that last inside clip. And there we go.
Wow.
Stookie, I mean, what a good debut for both those guys. Stookie will lead. Like you said, just a clinical build here, built with a fine-tuned foam. Let's see what the S-Spec Performance S-Chassis got for the Pride of Paducah in that chase position. Stookie gets out there, flirts with the wall, swings back into that second outside zone of the bridge. But look at that, Mr. Cool applying the pressure. There he is, firing off like an AK. Here we go in that last inside clip. Mr. Cool and the Caddy are on the door. The M-Spec S-Chassis and two votes. Jonathan Hurst, Mr. Cool.
God, like this car is playing with me right now.
And we're gonna cross our fingers that everything gets back together in good and working order. Jared.
Thank you so much. Here we go. Frederick Aasbo and Dan Burkett. Freddie, multiple champion, that Rockstar Energy Toyota Supra. But look at Dan Burkett, Mark 4 versus Mark 5 Supra. Burkett loses it. Rad Dan spins out, trying to be the aggressor, and unfortunately rotates, spins. You know, Freddie got his start in the Mark IV. Dan has just always had, you know, the Mark IV Supra, so it's really cool to see this battle. Here we go. The Rad Industries Mark IV Supra. Rad Dan into that first outside zone, a bit off. Now tries to tighten up with that chrome look. And Freddie with the new white livery, looking dialed. Here we go into that final inside clip. He doesn't need to do much to get this victory, unfortunately, with Dan's major mistake. So that's going to be all she wrote, unfortunately, for Rad Dan. And it looks like Frederick Aasbo is getting the win. And here we go with Beahm. Beahm in the chase position. All right, Castro out front. Let's see what he's got for Beahm. Leads him into that first outside zone. Not getting all the way out there. Beahm does, but he's bathing in that smoke. That could throw him off. Oh, and Castro. The LTH 86 spins out. That means that's a major advantage for Beahm, because spinning out in the lead run, technically Beahm does not need to complete the entirety of the run, because if the lead car spins, obviously
It's going to get in your head a bit.
Here we go, Trent Beahm now out front. The Clonex BMW. He's got an LS under the hood, next in tires. Go turn, oh, and Castro shuts it down again. So Beahm does need to complete this run. But again, that's not, like you said, it's not truly an incomplete. He did have that mistake. He could salvage something here, but that's obviously a mistake by comparison. And Castro, I think he's got some gremlins. Castro knocked out, but Beahm gets the victory and advances on. Beast from the Bay, got some new gear, some new merch. Go check it out. Here we go. Diego Higa, right in Brazil, chasing him down. Matt Field, four-leg exhaust, Corvette, feeling the heat wave, lead customs, transition under that second outside zone. Diego Higa into that third outside zone. See, like I'm saying, Diego looks a lot more refined and composure. You can see being aggressive, confident with it, but Matt Field out front. Diego Higa a little aggressive, but again, no competition timeouts were utilized. So here we go, Diego Higa out front. From Brazil, JDM Supreme, 86, Matt Field, that Borla Corvette, the Beast of the Bay transitioning in that second outside zone. How do they handle third? I'm telling you, Diego Higa, this is just, it seems like a different car, a different Higa behind the wheel. And Matt Field brings it on home one more time. One more time, they're going at it again. And again, we're really trying to force the judges to not default to one more time. All right, here we go. Matt Field, the four-leg exhaust, heat wave, lean custom, GT radial, Corvette, boom! Right there, backs it in. That carbon Kevlar back up. Look at Diego Higa, a little left foot brake, maximum angle there for Matt Field. Really maxed out Diego. Look at Diego just catapulting forward. Slingshots to the side of the Corvette. Matt. Really finding that secret sauce. Coming into that first outside zone. He digs deep. Let's see what Matt Field can do. He can't give Diego an inch. Very similar line, very comparable. Now transition this last outside zone. How's Matt Field going to handle? And Diego Higa. Things get interesting. Matt Field gets the win. Reunited and it feels so Gushi. And he's excited. So here we go. Forrest Wang, Ken Gushi. Let's get nuts. Yellow Speed Racing, S15, always got good style. See if he can deliver here. Forrest Wang under into that second outside zone. Look at Ken Gushi. Just look at that, ready to attack. Lacking that kind of mimicking of the angle. Ken does have that proximity. This looks like kind of Daigo Saito era where he's diving in, but he needs to get to the side. Needs some light. I don't know, we're type S Formula Drift. Buy some gear. All right, here we go. Looks like a second run of this Ken Gushi Forrest Wang battle. The Caddy bodies. Toyota 86 into that first outside zone. Wow, look at that. That was sick. That movement right there going to that second outside zone into the third. Now here comes Forrest Wang. Again, keeping good proximity there. Ken looked a lot more comfortable out front. Ken Gushi gets the win. Chris Forsberg will lead. Adam LZ giving chase. Let's see what we got from these two legends. Coming into that first outside zone. Adam LZ drops back, he rotates, and that's going to be a major deficit as Forsberg continues on. And it's all new team. Forsberg dialed right now. He's got the VR setup, the GTR. They got the 2J under the hood of the BMW. But that mistake right out of the gate, that is definitely going to hurt. Doing Drift Masters and he's doing FDs. Bouncing around the world. LZ World Tour. Here we go. Drift HQ, BMW, Adam LZ. Oh, wow, he really threw it in. He hates that drum, man. I don't know what that drum did to him, but he beat that thing up yesterday and today. And Forsberg unfazed. Absolutely unfazed, even going hard into that wall. Chris Forsberg, that mistake, and there it is. Chris Forsberg gets the win. Getting the keys from RCP, Rome Charpentier, Taylor Hull. That's another little Dale Earnhardt livery here. The Wrangler comp cams graphics here. You gotta love it. Garagistic BMW. Getting a new chassis here for RCP. And he's making it look easy right out of the gate. Well done by both the guys. Taylor Hull, amazing chase job. Oh, Taylor Hull gets a and Rome parks it around that last inside clip, and that looks independent. And we are seeing Rome and his team. Looks like they're up here in the pits, and they are thrashing to go get down there.
Taylor surges real hard and then locks it up.
Oh, there
that right there, that little tap is what caused the back end of Rome to go around. Oh, and
yeah,
then
bunted him.
Okay, I wasn't sure what the little piece flying off there. I hope it wasn't the belt, but it seems like it was the base. But Rome doing a phenomenal job. And I mean, Taylor's chase was really good. Just too aggressive as they transition through there. It's so tough. You got all that, potential energy built up in the suspension. The car's slingshot.
Yep. Lights extinguish, and the comp cams met. That's the Intimidator livery design. Comp cams, Kenna tires, and look at this. Taylor Hull pulling away from Rome Charpentier. Taylor Hull transition under the bridge, and RCP. That's the problem is when you change out the suspension parts, how much can you really trust fall those parts that they're set up? You don't want to write off a car for the sake of, And RCP gets the victory. Rudy Hansen, talk about Rudy Hansen, and he is going against Simon Olsen. Here we go, Simon Olsen out front. Simon Olsen fuel suspension, S chassis really came together last year for him. Now let's see how he transitions. Rudy Hansen, a shallow line into that third outside zone. I mean, this has now become Simon Olsen textbook, given the marriage of him and this car. Let's see Rudy with the clean hair. I bet he's really going to throw it out there. Just Rudy going full tilt. Whoa! There he is. I told you he's going to back it in. And he comes up a bit short of the second outside zone, but now going into the third. Now into that final inside clip. There it is, the Norwegian driver, Simon Olsen, gets the win. Here we go. So Deane Carnage Carney will lead that Dodge Viper. Initiates into that first outside zone. Coming into view. Gets all the way out there. Looks like he taps the bumper. Brings through Robert Thorne. A little bit of a hiccup there in the second outside zone. Now in outside zone 3. The Viper, the fangs are out and sinks him into that final clip. Well, it's like Thorne gets right. Good testimonial to, like, look, yeah, you can race and drift, you can do it all. So really cool. Here we go. Deane Carnage Carney chasing him down. Let's see what that Hyper Society Viper's got for the BMW of Thorne. There goes Thorne in the first outside zone. Deane Carney straightens up, has a very shallow line, but Robert Thorne maxes out that angle. It looks like Deane Carney there in that chase position. He's on the center line. Unfortunately, you saw him initiate on that first outside zone. He was in close proximity. All right, here we go. So slide him left for Carney, right for Thorne. We got a split decision, and Thorne gets the win. Shout out to Steph Papadakis and his family. Here we go. Ryan Tuerck out front at Reynex Toyota. GR Corolla initiates. Connor Shanahan, the garagistic BMW. Transition down to that second outside zone. Ryan Tuerck possessed. Look at Shanahan.
Oh!
Ryan Tuerck taps the wall. Tuerck tapped the wall, or was that? Let's run that back.
Yeah.
Shanahan was, he knows who he's going against. I mean, this is literally like a kid's fantasy. He's like, I want to drift the streets of Long Beach. I want to go against Ryan Tuerck. I want to have this weapon.
Hey.
It looks like we got a clean start. Here we go. Shanahan out front. Garagistic BMW got the Red Bull on the side. The Reynex Toyota GR Corolla. Ryan Tuerck. Shanahan goes hard into the paint. In that first wall. Into the second outside zone. Ryan Tuerck has a laser correction. Look at that back bumper. Thrashing and bashing into the third outside zone. Now into that final inside clip. Ryan Tuerck goes. He needs to apply the pressure. Brings it on home. Almost has contact. Makes a noise for Ryan Tuerck. And Connor Shanahan, there's 1 and a 2. Connor Shanahan gets the win on his maiden voyage in Formula Drift Pro Championship. Again, after further review, we said let's run him again. Ryan Tuerck, Connor Shanahan. Look at that. I mean, Ryan Tuerck just turning 40 earlier this week. Shanahan, so new power plant for Ryan Tuerck. He's gone 6-cylinder now. Shanahan, he's in a very proven car with RCP behind the wheel. He gave him the keys to that, so give modern tell. We're about to see if Connor Shanahan can do it. Here we go. Ryan Tuerck, Reynex Toyota, GR Corolla on Nitto tires. Shanahan, Red Bull, Garagistic BMW. Ryan Tuerck initiates into that first outside zone. Let's see if he can get out there. And yes, he does. He gets definitely close. Doesn't tap his bumper, but that's okay. We're not looking for him to essentially tap. Out to outside zone 3. That's where we saw the incident earlier. Looks like we got definitely a sterile and clean run right now. Oh, textbook. Shanahan did tap that inside clip, but a good run from both the drivers. Wiper blades. This could shake things up quite a bit. This is the first time we're seeing moisture on track. This could really change the game right now, but you need to stay composed. And Irish drivers know how to drive in the wet. Bro, he goes deep into the wall. The hatch opens on Ryan Tuerck. Shanahan goes hard into it. This is what I was talking about. They went from absolutely dry, bone dry, to just a little bit of moisture. Ryan Tuerck's front left corner is absolutely dipped down. The trunk opens. So look at that. Ryan Tuerck gets the win. Thank you so much, Chris Forsberg, and of course, thank you, Lorette, the all-new Nismo Nissan Z, Nos Energy Drink, and here we are, Nick Noack. The Noack Racing Kenda Tires BMW. He gets the fast pass in the top 16. He said, this is the best I've felt in a car, ever.
Yeah, I see it. It looks great.
Yeah, it looks good. He worked with, CoroWorks a few years ago. Odie Bakshis will lead. Brandon Sorensen will give chase. That field suspension. GT Radial, Enos Oil, S15. There he goes, flapping the hood, but slapping the wall. Keeps it just barely nicking that. Really well done there by Odie Bakshis. But Brandon Sorensen, he's tucked in. We've seen a lot of smoke, and that's a good indication that, ideally, rain stay away. Everybody say a prayer here, and brings it around. Great lead run by Odie Bakshis. All right, Brandon Sorensen, United States Air Force, BMW. He's on those NK wheels. Here we go. Initiating into that first outside zone. Looks like Odie dives in. He gets really aggressive on that line, but he's trying to set himself up there. See that? You saw him just transition, and that got him right to where he needed to be. Brandon Sorensen really deep in that third outside zone. Out to the touch and go goes both the drivers, and look at Odie Bakshis. Wow. awesome, and that's what I'm talking about. All about Odi Bakshi's getting the win over Brandon Sorensen. Here we go. Taguchi slowly crawling through that start chicane. I think we're going to see a pretty aggressive battle here, Jacob. Here we go. Kazuya Taguchi. Manoa drops into formation. Manoa doesn't get exactly all the way out, but now Manoa drops in that spot. Ooh, Taguchi backs it in. Almost breaking a taillight there. We'll take a look at that. But oh, Manoa straightens out. A big correction there from Manoa.
So you may not see it in this case. You may go with a more straight line approach, but nope, there it is. There's the
Here we
big
go.
flag.
All right, Manoa and that Juku Racing, Cusco GT Radial 86. And oh, look at that angle. Kazuya Taguchi, that allows him. Looks like he kind of checked up a little bit, and Taguchi backs down. Now into that. Wow, that was chef's kiss. Where's Federico with his Italian hand gesture? Kazuya banging doors, banging bumpers. Whoa, doctor. All right. Well, guess what? Jerry Yang's team's going to be busy regardless of who gets the win. What?
Kazuya having to surge a little bit, tries to grip the car, but get 1 contact, 2 contact, 3 contacts.
A 2, and there it is. Hiroya Manoa. Oh, it wasn't unanimous. Let's see what Hurst has got for us. Caddy Daddy, and going against James the Machine Deane. James Machine Deane enters in, and again, James, you know what? Oh, and look at that. As Jonathan Hurst spins out, James Deane, if he continues on, will have a major advantage here. Oh, no!
Saves it.
Saves it, but that is going to be 2 independent incidents. So basically, it's going to default Eastbound as well. So here we go. Mr. Cool, that Cadillac driven by Jonathan Hurst. This rat-a-tat-tat machine going against that 3-time champ as Jonathan Hurst uses all the force. Ping-pongs his way. Mr. Cool on 10 tires, and JT continues on. What a solid lead run by Jonathan Hurst, going after a 3-time champ. And James Deane fights back, but I'll tell you what, Hurst, here we go, James Deane, Jonathan Hurst, one more, and there it is, one more time.
Matt, thank you very much. Always putting his best foot forward, unfortunately.
Thank you so much. Here we go, James Deane backs it in. This is the one more time battle, and look at Jonathan Hurst. James Deane, massive angle there into outside zone 3 transition. They are absolutely shredding now, expediting this course, write their name on the streets of Long Beach. James Deane and Jonathan Hurst. The thing looks like half the height of that Ford Mustang here. All right, here we go. Jonathan Hurst up front, initiating. Look at that, tit for tat by James Deane. That XLR Cadillac, 1 and 2 filled, ticking the boxes here. Is Jonathan Hurst now into that last inside clip. And James Deane. Man. Oh my gosh. Fuel, here we go. Slide him left for James Deane, right for Jonathan Hurst. One more time. Like I said, this could really favor James Deane. Just, you know, he's very, obviously, a lot of driving, arguably one of the best drifters in the world. And here we go, sliding into that first outside zone. You saw an early initiation there from Jonathan Hurst. James Deane crawls into that first outside zone. I mean, listen to this thing, wound up into outside zone 2. Massages it in, look at that. Just standing on the throttle, Jonathan Hurst. And this is where it gets hairy. You can see just that long, slick run there. In his final, Jonathan Hurst adding some flair around that final inside clip. And they bring it around. Windshield wipers working extra hard, man. That car has seen it all. Here we go. Hurst and Mr. Cool Caddy will be leading. Here we go. Now into this first outside zone. The Cadillac just missing outside. He drops that back left into the wall. Oh, buddy. Little correction there. It looks like he's almost got a little bit. Wow. This thing is just, wow. Wow, it sounds like Apocalypse Now going down. This sounds insane. Left for Deane or right for Hurst, and it looks like James Deane gets the victory. Took that sight lap. I wonder if what they learned, you know, still seeing here we go, initiating. So there's the smoke. That's good. That's a sign of a good time. Frederick Aasbo getting all the way out there. Beahm tried to get close, had to back off a little bit there. Yeah, that That trunk flapping a little bit there in the wind. Watch his transition into that last inside clip. Ooh, Beahm.
Wow, there we go.
Oh, we got contact, kids. That back right exploded off of Aasbo. The second half of this battle, Beahm will lead, and Aasbo giving chase. If you can remember, Beahm was aggressive, ripped off that back right fender of Freddie's Toyota Supra, that Rockstar vehicle. Beahm now out front. Transition into that second outside zone. Comes up a little bit short, but Frederick Aasbo, that's what we were talking about. Beahm looking really wound up right now. He is just fiery. And Aasbo, and 3. Frederick Aasbo gets the win. Quite a beating here today. Here we go. Chris the Force Forsberg, all new Z on GT radial tires out front. Initiates in that first outside zone. He's looking real smooth earlier. Doesn't get all the way out there. Rome sharpens here. He dives in on the inside. He's taking a shallower line. Chris Forsberg trying to work into that third outside zone. Again, just coming up a little bit short on those outside zones, but now really good angle from him. But it is Formula Drift. You never know what you're going to get. RCP Garageistic BMW, Chris Forsberg tip to tail on initiation. Coming that first outside zone, there goes Rome. Chris Forsberg trying to apply that pressure. And look at how close in proximity. Rome using all of that outside zone 3. Now in that final outside zone, Chris always does this really, really well. And that looked precision. He kept it off the car. This, and Rome sharpens here, gets the win. Bad runs again, you know, and I will, you know, defend the judges here. James Deane and Jonathan Hurst in that first one, they both spun. They both, oh, here we go. So real quick, this is Ken Gushi. This is a buy run here for Ken Gushi. The Caddy, Mahdi's Kenda tire, Toyota GR86. Just get through the course real quick. He's running a 2J setup. So with Ken Gushi and that buy run, sounds like he's fighting the car. Here we go. Simon Olsen is going to lead. Robert Thorne giving chase. Simon Olsen, watch out. And Robert Thorne, this newly developed vehicle, you were giving it definitely some accolades here. And look at that. Robert Thorne comes up a bit short on that first outside zone. Big angle there from Olsen.
Whoa!
You see Robert Thorne, good proximity, but look how locked and loaded Thorne is. Looks like he maybe got off a line there, and Olsen dialed. Definitely cool to see the camaraderie there, but right now, here's the second half of it. That ASM, BMW, Robert Thorne, Simon Olsen gonna chase him down. We saw a phenomenal lead run by Olsen on that first battle. Now it's gonna be a slow trickle here. Similar to the rain, it's gonna be a little wet, a little slick, and Thorne slowly navigates into that first outside zone, almost like slow-mo. As Robert Thorne crawls his way in, just walking like a talking into that outside zone 3. And it is just so slow into that last inside clip. Oh boy. And it looks like Simon Olsen will get the victory. Remember, just less than a month, round 2, Atlanta. Be sure to tune in. Here we go. Ryan Tuerck, Rain-X, Toyota, GR Corolla, Rockstar Energy Pilot, Nick Noack approaches and has to back off. Ryan Tuerck not exactly the deepest on that first outside zone. Now to the second outside zone. Here goes Ryan Tuerck in the outside zone 3. The race service boys cheering him on. James Kirkham, Andy LaPuca, Jacob Akajani, and I know you're cheering him on. And Nick Noack, he's got his family in the building cheering him on. Will lead. Ryan Tuerck giving chase. Don't leave it in the judges' hands. Own it. Take what's yours. Either Nick Noack or Ryan Tuerck. Nick Noack, big angle, goes all the way out there. Ryan Tuerck tucks into the pocket with that little hot hatchback. Oh! Nick Noack goes deep. Ryan Tuerck spins out. Ryan Tuerck spins out as Nick Noack went really deep. 2 votes. So Nick Noack advances on. See how he handles it. Just smell the rain. Wind, a little cold. And here we go. About to heat things up. See if we get some steam here. Manoa shimming his way into that first outside zone. Looks like Odie, like you said, that setup thing. He does tap the wall. You know, this is pretty interesting here as Odie now comes into that third outside zone. Manoa, look at that, he drops in. Manoa crawls into that third outside zone and approaching that final inside clip. Some separation into the inside clip. Odie takes it out. Manoa wraps it around just barely. Like I said, Manoa no data as far as what we've seen from him in the rain. He comes out spicy.
Yeah.
He's getting froggy here. Let's see what Manoa's got. Mr. Exciting. He's excited after that interview with Laurent Nickel. I mean, he's got some pace. He's got some pace. Odie Boxy looks like he gets thrown off a little bit, but look at that's what I'm talking about. He could even predict there on that transition. Manoa goes in that last outside zone. 14 years old. Into that last inside clip, Manoa. He takes it out, so seems to be a trend right there. Center punching that last inside clip, taking it home as a souvenir back to Japan. And Odie Boxys.
Right now we've got the Kendas and the Vitors. Both of them have a very, I wouldn't say similar, but a general approach to evacuating that water. So both these cars should be able to handle the rain all right.
The channeling, the grooving, as Rome Charpentier, you see him correct. Ken Gushi out of the gate. Here we go, Rome Charpentier. Oh, gets into the wall. And Ken Gushi in the chase position here. And Rome now coming to that third outside zone. Throwing his way in. Oh, that's a big hit. Pushes that trunk out of the way. And Rome was talking about, he says, everything's crooked, but it seems to be straight. Like, that was the line he told Laurent Nickel.
Yeah. That was tough.
Here we go. Lights extinguish. Type S, the official lighting of Formula Drift. They go off, and Ken Gushi will lead here in a very wet, less than ideal condition. So just sliding it on in. Not exactly at the pace we've seen previously, and I mean, you can just see the puddles and how they're going to accumulate and how that's going to make the car react in a second outside zone. But look at Rome diving in on the inside. Rome getting aggressive. It's like Ken Gushi looking more dialed. And if you can recall, Gushi didn't sound 100% on that buy run, remember? Because he got that fast pass because the field was out. So this might favor him because it is wet. Kenshiro Gushi. Gushi gets the win. All right, here we go. And we are seeing James Deane come on out swinging. Let's see what Frederick Aasbo does. This should be a fun one to watch. We already saw James Deane in the all-wet conditions. Freddie now joining the party into that first outside zone, getting into the wall. Look at James hanging out there. Freddie throwing under the bridge. Look at that, just an absolute roost coming off James Deane's car. Oh, we got a wall tap. We got a wall tap from James Deane. Frederick Aasbo, look at that left foot brake. You can see him trying to massage that thing to the side of the Mustang. And there we go. Look, what Odie said is it's loose, it's grippy, it's kind of all over the place. So here we go. We got Frederick Aasbo out front, Rockstar Energy Drink, Toyota GR Supra, and James Deane throwing his way on in. And getting to that first outside zone, you can see Freddie. James taps the ball, or just barely kisses it. Ooh, Freddie, that thing grips up, and absolutely to your point right there. Here's that Supra. And James Deane looked like he had that nice line, almost consistent, all the way through into this final inside clip. Oh, James Deane making his presence felt there. That was pretty solid. Here we go, slide him left for Deane or right for Frederick Aasbo. Wet conditions favor. Oh! Here we go, James Deane, Frederick Aasbo. Our final battle of the the Tuerck Motorsport Grade 8. Here comes James Deane leading. Now Frederick Aasbo in that chase position. James Deane now transitions. It's a one more time battle between them two. Throwing it into that third outside zone. Just sliding it in. Look at this precision, just putting the pin on the map. And our final inside clip, wrapped it around. This is like ice skating right now. The one more time battle between these two champs. Let's see what Freddie's got. Rockstar Energy Drink, Toyota GR Supra. Like I said, he was ice racing in his native country of Norway, and he tweaked his thumb, so I had to have surgery, he was telling me. So pretty great. So he's driving with an impaired thumb. Oh, James Deane backs it in once again. And it looks like James overcooked it, but Freddie stays in it.
Love it.
Look at that, Freddie shaken but not stirred into that third outside zone. Look at James now in formation. Yes, sir, a little slow-mo action. Here's your steam cooker, and James looks like he almost pushes him around, but what a whip. What a whip by these guys. Outcome, James Deane gets the win. Diego Higa joining us here in the bleachers, cheering on his fellow competitors. Diego, who's cracking, doggy. Thanks for joining us, sticking around, cheering on. He's a fan of drifting. Here we go. We got Simon Olsen coming down the chute. Nick Noack into that first outside zone. Crawling their way on in. And look at this. Simon Olsen, I mean, he's driving like it's not even wet at all. Again, this ice racing paying off. Nick Noack, you can see him turn on. You can see him turn on the water fountain out back. And now into this final inside clip. I mean, look at that. Olsen is driving so well in this wet. Nick Noack, like I said, you got Norway versus Vegas. You know, it does definitely rain in Vegas. Nick Noack coming out, Kenda tires. You talk about, again, the variety that everybody's running here. Little feint entry by Nick Noack. He initiates and throws it out, corrects a little bit here. But Noack, boom, goes hard into that wall. That can throw him off, but Simon Olsen still on pace. Olsen still keeping it going. Oh.
You know what?
That could have been a lot worse. Yeah. It could have been, regardless. Olsen got banged up a little bit, but guess what? I think that's gonna lock it in, seal in the flavor for Simon Olsen. And Simon Olsen gets the win. In this corner, Kenshiro Gushi, representing Japan and America. Olsen comes out in that field suspension, S chassis, looking a little drier. Look at Simon Olsen looking a lot more confident. Little handbrake pull to massage it into that first outside zone. Gets it out there, taps that back left bumper. That bash bar takes it. Oh, Gushi straightens up, but you see him try to regain that position. And Simon Olsen out to the last outside zone. It's a little late here, so that's going to definitely throw both of them off. But I think you really do have to modify according to, and right there, just going from that black asphalt to that concrete, it's got to get slick. And that's what Odie was talking about. So still needs to really come together like Velcro. We'll see if he can stick it. Here we go. Ken Gushi out front. Can we kick it? Yes, we can. Here we go. Ken Gushi, Simon Olsen. Chase him down, field suspension, GT radial. Now into that outer zone. There goes Goosh. Ooh, he goes in hard. A little bit of correction there. First real damage we've kind of seen to Ken Gushi's new ride. Into that last outside zone. Look at Olsen. Just the composure there, just waiting. He's in the waiting room to see if he's going to advance on into the finals. Olsen finishing 4th overall last year. Ooh, not the best line from Simon Olsen. He did have good proximity and did mimic Gushi. Bakshis and Olsen. Now we are seeing Odie Bakshis lead James the Machine Deane. Odie coming out of that start chicane. Windshield wipers are on. Again, rain intermittent here and there. Now coming into that outside zone. Odie brings it out, taps the wall, he bounces off of it. James Deane, you see him pedal back a little bit. That allows Odie to pull away. Some corrections there from Odie Bakshi. He's taking a very shallow line, but you can see him just like crab walking that thing. Just baby steps, and James Deane, good proximity. Kind of a straight line approach, but had to do that going into that final inside clip. I don't know, so here we go. Looks like James Deane out front. Transitioning, who's going against Simon Olsen in the finals? Odi Bakshis or James Deane? James Deane out front. He knows how to drive in the rain. He kisses that back bumper. Oh, and Odi Bakshis counters. The wind whips up. Talking about the wind or the wind, James Deane into the outer zone. Odi Bakshis dragging bumper on the ground, not on the wall. Into that touch and go, and then into that final inside clip. And the rain really coming down now. Our finals are set, and it is Simon Olsen and James Deane. Simon Olsen and James Deane. Everything that's transpired, and we are sending cars. Look at that. Headlights are on, it's dark. Make some noise! Here we go. Again, James Deane, Simon Olsen. Olsen leads now coming down into the chute. Look at the puddles. This looks like a splash zone, not a drift zone. Going into that first outside zone. Here goes Simon Olsen spraying it, looking like a rooster tail. Into the second outside zone. One of the wettest events we've seen in years. James Deane, the Fontaine Ford Mustang, as Simon Olsen goes in that third outside zone. The rooster tail spray looking more like jet skis and boats that belong in the Long Beach water or the ocean around that final inside clip. Jacob, that was insane.
Let's go.
Vaughn Gittin Jr. cheering him on. Ben Hobson making his pro debut, not making the cut into the 32. Remember, in just less than a month, we will be in Atlanta for round 2. Here comes James Deane, the AutoZone Mustang RTR Spec 5 FD. The roasted marshmallow Mustang. A little bit of correction there from James Deane. Trying to go in that first outside zone. Simon Olsen out of correction. James Deane hanging it out quite a bit. Here comes Simon Olsen. Get his first ever victory maybe in Formula Drift. James Deane, good angle. Simon Olsen pedaling it with the proximity. Almost impeding that and exceeding the front wheels. Here we go, bringing it on home into that final inside clip. Look at this, we got James Deane and Simon Olsen crawling their way across that finish line. And our winner here at round 1 is unanimously James the Machine Deane. James Deane, after being on fire on Tuesday and now in the rain, the flames are extinguished. RTR ready to rebuild, gets the win at round 1, and the points championship heats up after it literally heats up under the hood, now cooled down, and of course, second place, field suspension S14 from Norway. Make some noise, Simon Olsen! And here it is. The championship hunt is on, Jacob. James Deane leads the pack. Olsen, Odi, Gushi, Aasbo, look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, just shaking things up. RCP, Noack, Manoa, 14 years old. Matt Field finishes 9th, and Ryan Tuerck in 10th. Rounding it out, Forsberg, Taguchi, Hurst, Sorensen, and Thorne. I mean, what a collection. What a crazy event, and there's still 7 rounds left to go, so join us at round 2. Anything else you want to add?
Hopefully the round 2 is a little warmer. That's it.
Well, Atlanta, anything can happen, and it usually does. So thank you so much to our crew. Thank you to all the drivers. Thank you to all the sponsors. Year 21, it begins now. And James Deane, the 3-time champion, leads the pack as we head from the streets of Long Beach to where the red dirt of Road Atlanta meets the asphalt of the iconic track where it all began in 2004. We're going to keep this party going that is called Formula Drift. On behalf of Lorette Nickel, Jacob Gettins, I'm Jared Deanda. We'll see you guys at round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship at Road Atlanta.